J.A. Moore is a businessman, a husband, and he comes from a family of civil rights. And now he's running for South Carolina House District 15. In this edition of Quintin's Close-Ups, I speak exclusively with him one-on-one. And be sure to download the free Quintin's Close-Ups app in your Apple or Google Play stores. J.A. Moore, it's so good to see you.
Quintin, man, I'm always excited to sit down with you, man. I appreciate you reaching out. It's like I feel like we've sat down and talked about a number of different issues here in the Charleston and Berkeley area, and this is my first time sitting down as a candidate, so I'm excited about it.
And I mean, you talk about being a political candidate. Let me take you to the Charleston Chronicle newspaper. They recently featured you and your wife Victoria on the front page of the newspaper. And writer Damian Smalls in the first paragraph wrote this quote: "He has made a name for himself locally as a businessman, a professional chef, mentor, and community volunteer. His parents were both involved in the civil rights movement." What got you from being a businessman, a professional chef, a husband, a volunteer, and mentor, to now being a political candidate for House District 15?
That's a really good question, Quintin. I think for me, I looked at the landscape, I looked at our community, and I realized that our community deserved more. We needed a representative that was going to fight for teachers, was going to fight for public education, that was going to fight for properly funding infrastructure, was going to tackle the crisis of affordable housing in the Charleston and Berkeley area. We needed someone that was going to represent us. And so really, to be honest with you, that was what it was. It's just the needs that I saw in the community, from the community volunteer work that we do, from the fact that I am a business person, so I see firsthand, because small businesses are the #1 job creators in South Carolina and in the country. So I saw it from a community aspect, I saw it from a business aspect, and I also saw it from a political aspect. We needed a leadership in District 15. So, the old Bible verse that talks about to whom much is given, much is required.
That's true.
Yeah.
And let me go to, obviously, House District 15.
Yeah.
Hanahan, North Charleston, and Goose Creek.
Yeah.
Obviously, that's part of House District 15.
Yes, sir.
What are the three biggest businesses in that district in your mind?
I think the industrial is a very big industrial district. Restaurants and hospitality is another really big one. And education, man, we have Hanahan High School and Goose Creek High School being the two anchored high schools, and then you also have Trident Tech, right, is in the district as well. So those are the three industries, the types of industries that are in District 15. So yeah, it's a very, and then you have a lot of people that live in District 15 that work at Boeing, right, and things like that. So you have tons of teachers, man, tons of workers, people that are positively contributing to the community. So yeah.
And I hate to be redundant, but writer Damian Small says this in the first paragraph of the Charleston Chronicle paper about you. He said this quote: "Set the challenge Republican Samuel Rivers Jr., that is, for the South Carolina House District 15 seat in November. J.A. Moore's hit the ground running to get his message across." Describe that message right now.
The message is, I'm a fight. I'm a fight for the people of District 15. I'm a fight for the people of Charleston County, Berkeley County. I'm a fight for the people of South Carolina. And what I'm asking everyone out there to do is to walk with me as we go through this fight. And so really that's the message, man. What I want to do and what I've been doing is just listening to the voices of the people in the district, listening to their voices and letting their voice drive my agenda. And so that's really what the message is. I will be a representative that listens first, analyze what I hear, and then deliver and fight for the people, man. I mean, really, that's the message. It's a very, very simple message. And what we found is that what's important for the people of District 15, but also Berkeley, Charleston County, and South Carolina, education is at the top of that list. Fighting for teachers is at the top of that list. Housing affordability is at the top of that list. And infrastructure, I don't know how many times I've driven down 26 or 52 or 17 and going through a pothole. Our infrastructure is definitely part of it. And then public transportation. How many times do we get stuck on Rivers Avenue or 526 or 26? So there's a lot of different issues and challenges that we face in the district and in the state. But we need bold, pragmatic, progressive leadership to take on those and champion those issues.
And you also told Jacob, the journalist, obviously,
Yeah.
that the district is ready for progressive leadership. What is your definition of that?
I think for me, progressive leadership is what I'm talking about, is listening to the people. I think for too long we've had representatives and politicians, sometimes we get a bad word, but that want to tell people what they need instead of listening to people and coming up with solutions based on the challenges that people have. And looking at how we make changes and doing it in a way that we can make real impact, right? And so what we found is that the same challenges that our parents face and our grandparents face are the same or similar challenges that we're facing now. And so we need someone in Columbia that's going to do something different, that's going to be bold, that's going to stand up against the status quo. So I think being progressive is all in the word, is looking forward to make progress. You can't do the same thing over and over again and expect different results. We just have to be moving forward, man, and I'm ready and willing to make that challenge. We need someone in Columbia that represents District 15, represents Berkeley and Charleston County, that are going to stand up for Charleston and Berkeley County, stand up for the district, and that be their main agenda. And I don't think we have that leadership right now.
I know on your Facebook Live event that you just recorded just a few minutes ago, you basically said you have a fight in your hands.
That's right.
And over the past couple of days,
Yeah.
I've seen the articles
Right.
about your past.
Okay.
And you addressed it recently on Facebook.
That's right.
How did we get here?
I think the challenging part is that if we just talk about the issues, I want to run on the issues. I want to run on, and I am running on the issues, and I'm running on the record that I have as far as being a community advocate. And I think a lot of times people want to bring just dirty politics into the game because they want the status quo to stay the status quo. So it's character assassinations, Quintin, and that's not the type of representative that I'm going to be. That's not the type of person I am. So I'm a focus on the people. This election isn't about me. It really isn't, man. This is about the people of District 15. It's about the union workers. It's about the teachers. It's about the restaurant workers. It's about the students. This isn't about me. This is about infrastructure. This is about economic vibrancy. Man, we have a great opportunity in District 15 to make impactful, long-lasting, generational change. And so the status quo don't want to see that happen. And so they want to attack me personally, but like I was telling you before, I'm ready for the fight.
And you talk about those students. Let me talk to you about the Parkland survivors.
Okay.
You said this on social media recently, quote, "Great lunch for the Parkland students. March for Our Lives tour. Our children are our future. They deserve more. I cannot do without you. I'm fired up and ready to change our great state. Will you join with me? You say our children are our future. They deserve more. What's the future like for the Parkland students, and how much more should they deserve?"
I tell you what, man, those students that came down for the March for Our Lives tours, a lot of them were survivors of the Parkland massacre. But other students were from Milwaukee, from New York and New Jersey. They were from all over the country. Young people that want to get involved and see substantive, meaningful change. Progress is what they're looking for. And so, I think, like I was talking about within the district, listening to their voices. Their voices matter. They're the next generation of leaders. And what I love about what these young people are doing is that they're saying, we're not waiting our turn, we're going to lead now. and they're leading a movement. And we have to remember that the civil rights movement, for the most part, were young people. You know, my dad was very active in the civil rights movement in the 60s. And believe it or not, the people that was with him the most were elementary school kids and middle school kids and high school kids. So this is precedent. This isn't new. This generation of kids are just stepping up and saying what sparked revolution in them was gun violence. And the generation, before us, it was all about civil rights. And so students just have a history of being forward thinkers, man. And our students here in Charleston and Berkeley County, they're forward thinkers too. They're leading the charge as well. And so we've been blessed on my campaign, for example, to bring in students from the district to be actively involved in the campaign, and students outside of the district. We're actually going to be canvassing with young people this weekend in Goose Creek. And so, man, I tell you what, man, these young people are leading the way, and I'm gonna listen to them, and I am listening to them, and their voice is going to be a part of the agenda as well.
Where are we with the discussion on gun legislation in your mind?
I tell you what, Quintin, I think that issue is people have used that issue to divide people for so long. I'm a strong supporter of the Second Amendment rights. I think we should have the right to bear arms. But then also, tragedy hit South Carolina, hit Charleston, hit me personally. And we need to do, and from a legislation standpoint, universal background checks. The background checks should be completed before a person can legally purchase a gun. I think that's common sense. And so what I'm hoping is that people understand that, we can't make, sometimes I think we make emotional decisions. What I'm trying to look at it is from a pragmatic standpoint, which is hard because this has hit me personally, has hit the community personally. And so we just need leadership in Columbia and in DC that are going to be bold and that are going to stand up for people's lives. And for me, this isn't partisan. This isn't about being a Democrat or Republican or being against any organization or people. It's not, man. It's literally about saving people's lives.
Describe to me the following one word. The federal judge won't stop temporary cut to South Carolina SCNG election rates.
Say that again, I'm sorry.
The federal judge won't stop temporary cuts to the South Carolina SCNG's electric rates.
That they won't stop because you put that in one word?
Yes, sir, if you can.
I mean, you know what, it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous.
Senators sue Governor McMaster over St. Cooper appointment of Charlie Condon.
Right. Here's the thing. Once again, a culture of corruption in Columbia.
Public transportation.
Needed.
Infrastructure.
Needed.
Department of Transportation.
We need to better fund it. We need to better fund it. 5
homicides in North Charleston.
Sad, man. I mean, it's really, really sad. Sad. We have to do something about that.
And I understand too that obviously you have 35,000 residents in the District 15 area. What are you listening to when you hear from those residents?
I think, Quintin, that's a good question. I think people are very, very passionate about education, and our students, and our teachers, and our infrastructure. People, at the end of the day, people just want to be heard. In Goose Creek, what I've heard is about roads and restaurants. And in North Charleston, it's about education and safety. And Hanahan is about education and livability. In Moncks Corner, it's about roads and restaurants. So this district it covers so many different demographics, so many different types of people. It's a very diverse group of people. And so, but I think the core of it all is people just want to be heard, and they want a representative that's going to listen to them and fight for them. And that's what I want to do, man. I kind of want to go back a little bit, Quintin. You mentioned a little bit. You talked a little bit about what's going on with the scanner issue. That that is because the State House just won the lawsuit against scanner, and that shows you the culture of corruption in Colombia, right? I mean, firsthand, it shows you that we should have never allowed scanners to get us in that mess in the first place. So I'm happy that the House won that lawsuit because it's going to save electric bill customers about $100 on average on their bills. That's good, right? That's a good thing. But we should have never got there in the first. We should have never signed that act into law in 2007.
The base review law.
Yeah, exactly. We should that law should have the Base Load Review Act that should have never had signed in the first place. See, the State House didn't do their job of being a watchdog and holding scanner accountable. And so we got an opportunity now with this Dominion buyout, where they say on average, if you look at it, it's going to probably save customers about $1,000. But we got to make sure we're diligent when we're looking at this. We can't just go into this deal. We got to make sure this deal is a good deal for everybody in South Carolina. And I promise, I'm running for office, and make sure that kind of thing that happened with scanner never happens again. Not on my watch. And so, that's why it's important. That's that progressive leadership that I'm talking about, Quintin. Because that's a huge issue. That hits people every month. And now and I'm happy that we're getting some of this relief from from the lowering of, it's going to be like that 15% lowering of the electric bills. But that's a little too late, don't you think?
J.A. Moore, thank you so much for your time. I really, really appreciate this.
Yeah, man, thank you so much. And I just want to say, I'm going to look in the camera. I just want to say thank y'all for those of you out there that's watching this. Quintin does a fantastic job, and I'm just we're blessed to have him. Y'all can follow me on Facebook and Twitter at J.A. Moore 4SC15, and my email address, my website is jamore4sc.com. Thank y'all so much. Quintin, God bless you, man. Thank you so much.
Anytime.
Cheers, man.